Hey ladies, welcome to Confident in the Thriving podcast. So, for this episode, I wanted to start the new year with a episode that really takes you from feeling disempowered to empowered. If you have been experiencing or you have experienced negative experiences that made you question your value, question your worth, made you feel powerless and just less confident over the past year, and obviously you're entering this new season of your life, but you experience things like maybe heartbreak, failure, rejection, financial issues like debt, and you really want to restore your confidence and self-image, there is one thing that I believe is so monumental and being able to take you from feeling disempowered due to these situations to really empowering yourself, helping you feel less as a victim and more as a victor over your experiences. And this one really transformational decision that I made has allowed me to transform my confidence in times of feeling disempowered, help me enhance my value, and help me be a victor over those experiences. This mindset, this decision that I encourage you to make, especially as we are in the beginning of the new year, is how can I make these experiences happen for me? So to give you a little bit of a backstory about how I came up with this, how I learned to embody this concept, this idea, is that before I became a confidence coach, before I decided that this was purpose driven for me, before I decided to start creating content, I've shared this before when I first created Becoming Confident, but growing up, I had really low self-esteem. I struggled a lot with self-worth, not feeling good enough, not feeling attractive, not feeling important. And this really from childhood all the way into adult life, it affected me, right? It affected me in multiple areas in my life. It showed up in relationships, how I interacted in relationships, things I accepted, things I tolerated. It also showed up in careers. And this is something that I hated about myself because it made me feel powerless in that. And even over time, as I began to do inner work and I began to do outer work, things that would help me improve my confidence in myself, I still hated those experiences. I still would always wonder what is my purpose? I want to know why I'm here. All of these feelings. And so once I really started doing the outer work, especially things that help me improve my confidence and inner work even more intensely, I felt this crazy desire, this need to share what I've learned. And it was for the first time in my life, instead of feeling like a victim, instead of feeling disempowered, I actually looked at it when I decided I want to become a coach. I want to create content online. I looked at all of those experiences that I had as this was happening for me. And once I made that decision, once I made and that's just a perception, right? Once I perceived that all of those things was happening for me, everything changed. I went from feeling disempowered to empowered. And ever since I had that perception change, everything moving forward after that, whatever negative experience I have, whether it's heartbreak, whether it's failure in some areas, whether it's just life challenges, instead of looking at it as this is happening to me, I now choose always to say, how can I make this happen for me? Because sometimes not everything happens for a reason, right? As we grow as women, we know this. Not everything happens for a reason, and negative things happen, life happens. And so not everything was happening for us. Things did happen to us, but what can empower you is asking yourself, how can I make this happen for me? This makes you ownership of your experience. This gives you ownership of how can you turn your experiences around to work in your favor. We take negative experiences and we use it to transform us and so in some way. And so if maybe you feel, right, you're entering this new year, maybe you feel like you don't know your purpose in life, maybe you're questioning your purpose in life, or you've had those experiences, like I said, that made you feel like a victim of your circumstances, and you had experiences that made your self-image take a hit, take a beating, your confidence take a beating, then this is definitely something that you want to start asking yourself. Look at your experiences that you had and let it be your path to elevation. Let it be your guide. Ways that you can do this, and even I had to do this even recently, going through a heartbreak, a breakup. I decided, like, how can I make this experience happen for me? It sucked, it hurt, my self-image took a hit, and what I decided to do was create a course that is all about repairing your self-image and confidence after experiencing heartbreak and failure. Because I realized, whoa, I had to do this time and time again, not just from heartbreak, but also from failure. I had to do this time and time again. So what are some things that you can do? And I want you to start thinking about this like today. What can you do? There's multiple pathways that you can take to taking those negative experiences and turn it into a way for you to win, for you to elevate yourself, for you to reinvent yourself and change your story and level up. That is the best way to do it, is to take your experiences and become impactful with the things that you've learned. You can write a book. You can show up online and start creating content, impacting others. You can become a speaker from your experiences. People make thousands of dollars a month just being a speaker. You can start a business based off your experiences. You can create a community, right? You can create a course similar to what I've done, like I just mentioned. Or you can just invest that time into yourself, right? Instead of just allowing yourself to just like maybe ruminate about these experiences, level up yourself. So there are so many endless ways that you can turn your experiences into your way to win. You really can do this, because when you do this, you release the hold that these experiences had on you, right? And in return, it allows you to grow. It allows you to become more confident. It allows you to see yourself differently. When I started creating the podcast, when I started creating content, it was freeing me up from all of those negative experiences that I had growing up with self-image, with self-hate, because I turned it into, this happened for me, so now let me share. And my confidence, my self-image went levels up simply by changing that perception of my experiences. So as you enter into this new year, obviously we're already here. Maybe you have so many goals in mind. Maybe you have things that you're thinking about. What can I release? What can I shed? How can I reinvent myself? This is one of the main things that you can do. You can release the hold that these experiences had on you. You can shed that identity of being disempowered and being a victim and being not important. All of these things that these experiences maybe had made you feel. You can release all of those and turn it around and level yourself up. Rewrite your story. Rewrite the story that those things had. Now I don't even look at all of those things in the past as that was happening to me. I decided to make it as this happened for me, even if everything didn't happen for me. So even if everything you experience has not happened for you, you as an empowered woman, you get to decide to make it for you. This is really going to change how you see yourself. This is going to level up how you see yourself, because you're going to see yourself as a victor. You're going to see yourself as an overcomer. You're going to see yourself as empowered. You're going to see yourself as just phenomenal, unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable when you're able to do this. And it's really all about that change in perception and you really just making that decision. So today, take some time to think about it. Not every negative experience, right? Like some, maybe you don't care to turn it around, but a lot of things that really broke you a little bit, maybe hurt your confidence, made you feel not worthy, not good enough, failure, financial issues. How can you make it happen for you? Think about that and transmute that energy. This is something that I talk about in the course, the self-image reboot and repair after heartbreak and failure, is transmuting the energy that you are putting into these things. Maybe it's just ruminating on what you could have did better, or ruminating about the mistakes that happened, or being angry, being frustrated about all of this. What can you do? Because that's so much life force energy that's just being poured into things that isn't really serving you whatsoever. So how can you transmute that energy and take it from there and pour it into something that is going to level you up and level up your life this year? It's really a decision. It's really a decision and a change in perception, and it's really an intention as well. And you will realize how empowered you are. And what I love about this decision most is that it gives you purpose. If you've been feeling like, if you've questioned, like, what's my purpose? This gives you purpose. You get to create purpose for yourself. When you can turn your experience around as your way to win, when you can make things happen for you, that's what gives you purpose. You get to create your purpose by doing this for yourself. Alrighty, so that is it for today's episode. I just really wanted to share that experience, that perception change that really leveled my mindset up, and I continue to put into practice till this day, because it changes you from that disempowerment to being a empowered, a confident woman who can own her experiences and transform her life instead of letting her experiences own her. Alrighty, so that is it for today, ladies, for Confident and Thriving, and I will see you and speak with you in the next episode. Bye.